What's up, guys? I'm Donovan Mitchell, guard for the Utah Jazz.
Hi everyone, it's KH Taylor from the Nocturnal. So while the Utah Jazz and the NBA are off season right now, Donovan Mitchell is still making moves. The latest, a slam dunk for teachers everywhere this upcoming school year.
So first off, happy belated birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So how does this initiative kind of set the stage for how you want this next chapter of your life to go?
I think, well, first off, just having, seen the work my mom's put in as a teacher, I've always wanted to, and I've always prided myself in speaking on education. I went to public school, I went to private school, I went to boarding school, so I've kind of had three different experiences in the school system, so I kind of know a little bit, about the schooling system, and I think for me, the consistent with everything is that teachers, are undervalued. I think they're underrated. I think they, and underpaid too. So I think, there's so many life lessons that you learn in school through teachers in the classroom that, we don't really show appreciation to. So when we decided to team up with Clorox, and they gave $1 million in donor choose, which is basically helping with school supplies, helping, whether it's helping kids get meals, and well, even at home now, we're in a virtual world, we're helping kids get Wi-Fi, so they're able to access class online. I think that's something that, speaks out to me, myself and my mom, because, we're really big on being able to help the next generation, continue to help the next generation, but as well as teachers. And I think for this chapter of my life, just being able to give back, something that I really pride myself on, and kind of walking the walk as well as talking the talk, and kind of, being able to say, all right, like, whether it's with Clorox, and I'm also, myself and my mom, we've donated $12 million to the school I went to. So kids, who didn't have necessarily have an opportunity to go to private school can get that chance. They just have the grades, but don't necessarily have the means to get there. Being able to provide that opportunity for kids, I think is huge.
So how can your fans get involved in this?
Right. So there is a website. It's you can visit Clorox.com for more, and it's the Donor Choose campaign page. Sorry, and that will, you'll be able to figure out, how to get involved, and how to be able to, submit your request. That way we can fund your school supplies and continue to help out. So that's how it will all unfold. And if you're looking at this, if you're watching this, that's how you can get involved and be a part, and hopefully be a part of the teachers that are selected to so we can help you guys with your school supplies.
And so tell me a little bit more about how, I guess, you got involved and how the concept came to be. Is this something that Clorox approached you with and your mom? Is this like Clorox approached you and you thought of your mom and had to do something with teacher?
So a little bit of both. I think, Clorox came to us, and, we immediately fell in love with this because it's something that speaks to us and what we do. I think for when I speak for myself and my mom, when I say, being able to say that we're a part of a brand that's so willing to give back to teachers, really makes our hearts warm, because, like I said, I've seen it, in school. My mom's been a teacher for, man, I don't want to get the number wrong, but many, many years, and she's done a great job, a phenomenal job. And, being able to see how she was, grinding, continuing to work during quarantine, to help her students continue to learn. I think something that really stood out to me, and I was like, man, like, it's 2 a.m. I'm downstairs playing my Xbox, and she's still planning her next segment. Like, she's still doing this, and I'm like, man, like, you need to get some sleep. And then she's up at 8, 7 o'clock making sure it's ready, and she's working all day, and that's virtual, you know what I mean? And that's not even being in the school, so you can only imagine what a full school day may look like. So that's something, when we were approached with this, we were like, man, like, for sure, there was no doubt in our minds that we wanted to do this, and continue to work and help push our teachers, and help push people to understand the appreciation that these teachers deserve, and we're showing our appreciation as well.
Speaking of appreciation, what is something that you didn't appreciate while you were in school that you learned from a teacher that you appreciate now as an adult and are glad that you learned about?
You said something I didn't appreciate at the time, but now I do. Is that what you said? All right.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 5th grade, the lessons of the time, the work, and I could be saying this wrong, but the time like you put in is what you get out of it. You know, what you put into is what you get out of it. You know, and at that time, school, I was not the greatest student. You know what I mean? So I was kind of getting those lessons from my teachers, like, you know, the reason why this may have been a D is because you didn't study or you studied the night before. I'm like the king was studying the night before at that time. And then as I got older, I realized, you know, putting in those hours, putting in the effort, because you do it on the court. You know, I do it when I was playing baseball, but now it's like doing it, you know, in the classroom, understanding that what you do on the court and what I did on the field is great, but at the end of the day, that is going to eventually run out, you know. But what you learn in the school system, what you train your brain to know, you're going to keep forever. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that, you know, I'm going to retire one day, but at the end of the day, it's what's up here, you know. And I think that, you know, that lesson I didn't necessarily. I won't say I didn't appreciate it. I appreciated them telling me that, but I didn't quite understand it until I got older, and I was like, okay, like I get it, like, you know. And now you're putting in the same effort I do on the floor as I am in the classroom.
Great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Jazz. So you have Coach Schneider and your teammates and a few older players. So hypothetically, if you know they were all teachers, what subjects would they teach, Coach Schneider? And it can't be PAE.
Um,
You only have to do a few teammates. No.
I'll do coach is the coach is like everybody calls him the mad scientist, so I'll give him science. I'll give him that one. Joe is Joe's the math teacher. Although Joe went to school for less time than pretty much anyone in the league, probably, because he was playing in Europe, or Australia, I should say. So he was done with school at like 14. Mike, I give Mike history because he's into a lot of history. And then I'll give myself English. Myself will get English. I'm always correcting people, so I definitely think that I would get English. And then missing one, and then obviously you can give Rudy French. You know, if you want to take a language, you know, you kind of give a few. Cause we have a lot of international guys on the team, so yeah, that's those are the categories.
And so, what types of memories do you associate with the first day of school? You know, did you take the
Gotta
bus or someone?
has to be the fit. My fits were not the greatest in school. I do blame my mom for that, but she's right over here. I'm gonna blame her for that one. But no, definitely. I think that obviously everybody has the first day fit. Like, you know, I was in a school where I wore khakis and polo shirt pretty much every year until I got to high school. But definitely that. You know, I think the biggest thing is it's funny because you want to know what class you have with your friends, you know, and you want to know what class. Okay, I have this class with this friend, I have class with this friend, class with this friend, and then you figure out what teachers you have. And then you figure out, you know, where your class is at. Like, you remember all that, and it all happens so fast. And it's like it's like Christmas in a sense, because everybody's scattered around you have it on the paper, trying to figure out how to get there, how to figure it all out. And then when I went to boarding school, it's like entirely different, because now it's like you have no idea where anything is, but everything is like, you know, so close. But you know, definitely the fit, definitely what classroom you're in, who's in your class, how many tests you have. But that's more college, how many tests you have. That's like syllabus week, where they kind of tell you everything. If you're getting the gist of what kind of student I was before and after, I'm kind of hinting it towards you. But that's pretty much, you know, what comes to mind for me, for sure.
Okay, so what type of learner are you? 'Cause, you know, you're learning new plays. You know, do you have to listen to music when you're learning these plays? Do you have to like do a certain routine in your head? Like, how does that work?
I'm very visual. I'm very visual. You know, you could explain something to me 1,000 times. Once you see it, show me once, I'm good. You know, and then if I'm going through it, like if you walk me through a play, then I got it like that. But, you know, I think, you know, if you try to show me on paper, you know, I've gotten better because coach draws the plays up, but that's why I said he's a scientist, because he's drawing a bunch of lines and it's all over the place, and sometimes we all get confused, but we figure it out. But if I see it, you know, if I see it once, I'm good.
So, I know you're still young and everything, but what is something that you hope people learn from your life? The choices you make, the initiatives that you're part of.
I think, you know, whether it's doing, partnering up with Clorox or partnering up with, Adidas, Body Armor, like, it's okay to be yourself. I think we live in a world where, you know, people try to be what they see on TV or what they see on Instagram or social media. Like, it's okay to be you, like, be what's true to you. Because at the end of the day, like, fake stuff is what it is, but being true to yourself, I think is something I really try and preach. And it's okay to be different. I think that's another thing. It's okay to just, be studious and, like, that's it. I think there's a negative connotation, or there was, about people who are really into books or really into studying. Like, no, like, those turn out to be the smartest people in the world, and ends up being really lucrative in life. You know what I mean? So, like, it's okay to be who you are. Don't have to pretend. Don't have to, just be you, and enjoy it, and enjoy school, because once you leave school and you get into the business of world, it's a totally different life. So it's okay to enjoy where you're at, have fun. That's the biggest thing I want people to know, is just have fun and enjoy where you're at, because life is too short. So just have fun and enjoy everything.